He said it might not be a good idea to keep exploring. I started hearing noises. Whenever we stopped, the footsteps stopped. When we moved, they started again. There was also this heat sensation around my neck, which was getting more uncomfortable the longer. In part 1, we covered the history of Sibertel Bangi and the stories people told about it. But in this video, I'm going to share my own visit, what I saw, what I felt, and why I decided not to go further. So let's get started. Welcome back to Sathiya Kirti. When I was outside filming for part 1, everything was fine. It was just another shoot. White shots, intent footages, walking around the perimeter. But the moment I stepped inside, the atmosphere changed. It's hard to describe. It wasn't about what I could see, it was more about what I could feel. There was this unease that came out of nowhere. Not enough to panic me, but enough for me to notice. And as I walked further in, that uneasy feeling got stronger. Sibertal is a big place, a lot bigger than it looks from the outside. Blocks of buildings, open areas between them, long corridors, and no one was around that day. But there was this strange thing, even though I couldn't see anyone, I really felt like I was being watched. Not from one spot, but from different directions. The sun was still up, but inside the compound, it got dark really quickly. The overgrowth blocks a lot of sunlight, so shadows cover most of the place. Not long after going in, I started hearing noises. It sounded like someone doing work, moving things, knocking, that sort of sound. At first, I thought maybe it was coming from the outside of the compound, but the deeper we went in, the more I realized it couldn't be. We were too far in, and the area around Cybertel is quite secluded. The strangest part was the footsteps. There were only two of us, but sometimes I felt like I could hear more than that. Whenever we stopped, the footsteps stopped. When we moved, they started again. I kept telling myself it was probably the echoes or maybe my imagination, but it happened more than once. In one of the hostel blocks, I walked past an empty room. On the wall, there was a calendar still hanging from 2006. It's a small detail, but it stuck with me. That means this place has been sitting here unchanged for a very long time. Standing there, I had this sense that the room wasn't really empty. But again, that's just a feeling. Nothing moved, nothing made a sound. Still, I didn't feel like staying in there for long. As we went further in, the feeling of being watched got stronger. It wasn't just in my head, my crew member felt the same thing and he mentioned it. He said it might not be a good idea to keep exploring, and I was feeling the same thing. There was also this heat sensation around my neck, which was getting more uncomfortable the longer we stayed. So we decided to turn back. That's when the noises started again, louder this time. It wasn't threatening, but it felt like it was right behind us. I asked my crew member to walk ahead while I stayed a bit behind to film. I wanted to get a bit more footage before leaving. When we finally stepped out of the compound, the difference was immediate. The air felt lighter, and the unease I had been feeling faded away. I don't usually feel anything unusual in places like this. I don't have any psychic ability or anything like that, but this visit was different. It actually reminded me of another place I've been to, the Bungalow General in Bukit Tungku, where I also felt something I could not explain. I've linked to that video in the description if you want to check it out. I turned around for one last look. It was the same building, but for some reason it felt different from the one I walked into, like it was holding on to its own secrets. Was it just my mind playing tricks on me, or was there something else in Cybertel that day? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments what you felt watching this video. If you like this deep dive, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Until next time, stay curious and keep your eyes open because some places never sleep.